Dozens, and then four individuals today.
So
Dozens plus four. Try
dozens
that
plus
math.
4, so it could
Yeah.
be 28.
It's dozens, and I can't get any more specific than that.
So Matt, while this is one of the most significant actions by the administration, I'm wondering, a lot of people point out that many of these settlers do have U.S. citizenship. So I wonder what tools, if any, does the United States have if it wants to take action against these settlers with U.S. citizenship?
So I would say that the first responsibility here for policing destabilizing actions, for policing violence in the West Bank, is with the government of Israel. And the government of Israel that is on the ground, that we have been very clear needs to do more to arrest extremist settlers engaged in violence and prosecute extremist settlers engaged in violence. And that we have made that clear to them. We have seen them take some additional steps since we began these interventions, both the Secretary in his trips to the region and the President in his various phone calls with Prime Minister Netanyahu. That's the first line of responsibilities with the Israeli government, and we continue to hope that they will do more. But then we are willing, and as we've shown through our actions, both with the visa bans and the actions we take today, committed to taking further actions within our ability to police settler violence, extremist settler violence, and we'll continue to take additional steps as necessary, but I don't have anything else to preview.
And when you say we're willing to take further action, do you mean against Israeli settlers with dual citizenship or just U.S. citizenship?
I just don't have any further actions to preview today, but we think it's important that extremist settler violence that those involved in it be held accountable for their actions, whatever their citizenship.
Okay, and there's also another criticism out there that this reduces the problem just to individuals, whereas there seems to be a targeted institutionalized effort to expand the settlements in the West Bank. You guys have been raising this issue with the Israelis for a while. But I mean, how do you go about solving that problem, really? Because I mean, and again, attached to that, I want to ask, what exact answer is the Secretary and U.S. officials in this building are getting from Israeli government when they raise this issue? Because it's clear that you don't seem to be satisfied with the actions that they're taking.
So without betraying too much of our private diplomatic conversations, I will say we have had some very frank conversations with them about extremist settler violence. And that includes some very detailed conversations where we have presented cases to the Israeli government, cases of settler violence where we have seen reports and where we have seen documented settler violence and asked them to take action. And we have seen them take some action. And so we've engaged in a back and forth with them, both at the Secretary's level and through our embassy. What we have seen, and I should say, we have seen since those interventions over the past month, 6 weeks, 2 months, we have seen the level of extremist settler violence come down somewhat. Not come down enough. We want to see more. But the interventions that we've made have, we believe, made a difference. But we want to see it continue to come down, which is why we have taken the actions today. With respect to your questions about settlements, we have made clear that we think the expansion of settlements in the West Bank undermine peace, undermine stability, threaten the ultimate establishment of a independent Palestinian state, make it more difficult, and so we will continue to engage with the Israeli government on that matter as well. Let me go Sean first. And I'll come back to say.
Just on the Israeli response to this, you've probably seen Netanyahu's office is saying, "Hey, look, Israel. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. Israel has laws. We punish people who break the law. We don't need the U.S. to do this." Is there a response to that? I mean, why haven't they done it then? Do you think that's a valid argument?
So they do have laws against violence, obviously, and we have seen them, as I said, take some steps to rein in settler violence, but we don't think those steps have been sufficient, which is why you've seen us take a series of actions starting in December and continuing with the President's executive order and the sanctions we imposed today.
Sure. I was roughly related, but if you want to continue.
Yeah, go ahead, Saeed.
I just want to clarify the point that Omar raised on both regarding U.S. citizens. If they have like assets and properties and so on, could they, or is that a Justice Department issue? Could they be seized or frozen or something like this?
This executive order is targeted at foreign persons.
Okay, all right. And on the issue of the settlement, you've leveraged sanctioning the settlers, extremist settlers and so on, but you are not leveraging the settlement expansions and so on. So I know Homero asked, but I didn't really quite understand what you tried to
My
say.
answer was that we have been quite clear that we oppose the
Yeah.
expansion of settlements. We believe that they undermine prospects for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state. They threaten peace and security and stability in the West Bank, and we have made that clear with the government of Israel. We'll continue to make it clear with them.
Is that including efforts to reverse some of the settlements, the legal settlements back?
We have made clear that we oppose the expansion of settlements. Obviously, the issue of settlements has been a topic of dispute for some time, something that we have said needs to be resolved in final negotiations or the establishment of an independent Palestinian state, but we oppose the expansion of settlements.
I have a couple more, but if I may.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.